Right now at noon, the woman accused of attacking a bus driver and causing a crash appears in court. The charges she's facing and what happens next. Plus, the Trump administration seeks to significantly roll back environmental regulations. The warning from environmental groups, along with the negotiations to avert a partial government shutdown. This is News 3 Now at noon. Thanks for joining us. I'm Josh Breiter. The woman accused of attacking a Madison Metro bus driver, causing the bus to crash into the Asian House restaurant, is set to appear in court again later this month. Rayvon Johnson faces multiple criminal charges. The charges include attempted battery to a public transit operator and second-degree recklessly endangering safety. There were a total of 54 disturbances on Metro buses involving drivers in 2024. That's according to records from Madison Metro. Madison police are often called to respond to those incidents.
Metro has, great drivers who do their best to try to handle things and just keep order on the buses themselves. But occasionally we will get called.
The judge agreed to reschedule Johnson's preliminary hearing as there was no state defender present yesterday. She will reappear in court on March 26th. Two seasonal homes are considered total losses after a fire in Marquette County this morning. Firefighters were called out to the north side of Lawrence Lake in the town of Westfield. It appears the fire started as a brush fire in a fire pit, then quickly spread to nearby structures. A third home sustained partial damage. A detached garage and two sheds were also lost. All the buildings were unoccupied at the time. A person is without their home in Madison after a kitchen fire this morning. It happened on Dell Drive. Fire crews got the call about 4:30. They could see smoke coming from the garage of a condo. Crews were able to quickly contain the fire. The person is getting help from the Red Cross. Well, the balance of the Wisconsin Supreme Court will be on the ballot next month. Last night, the two candidates faced off in a debate in Milwaukee. This is the first and only debate between conservative Justice Brad Schimmel and liberal Justice Susan Crawford. One topic they focused on, outside donors and supporters in this election.
Almost 50% of my opponent's donors can't vote in the state of Wisconsin because they don't reside here.
I have support from all over the country, and it is because Elon Schimmel is trying to buy this race.
This is shaping up to be one of the most expensive judicial races, not only in the state, but nationwide. Well, it is tournament time for the Wisconsin men's basketball team. The Badgers are taking on Northwestern at 1:30 this afternoon in Indy, with the winner moving on to play UCLA in the quarterfinals. Tanisha Shaw is live at State Street Brats in Madison, where fans are ready to cheer on Wisconsin. Hi, Tanisha.
Hey, Josh. Yes, as you said, I'm here at State Street Brats. And, I'm going to be honest with you, Josh. There's not a lot of people out right now, but in life, there's always some people that are more dedicated than others. And I have a group of people that are not only dedicated, but they're UW fans and UW students. And they've been out here since at least 11 a.m. at least. So I'm going to sit down and talk to them for a second. So first, the big question, what made you want to come out here so early?
Just dedication to the game. Just wanted to be here, my favorite bar on campus, watching this beautiful basketball team play and kick the crap out of Northwestern.
And I do want to add, this is the best way to celebrate Wisconsin sports. We have beer, probably some cheese curds or something down there, and there's pitchers, not one, a few of them, so that's important. Now, let me ask you, so do you think Wisconsin will end up on top? Do you think they will secure a W?
It's not even a question, obviously. Great guard, great coach, great team this year. Played really, really well the entire year. Can't wait to see what Tanjay does tonight. Can't wait.
All right. And then what's your score predictions?
Score prediction for tonight, honestly, Wisconsin probably by 50. Northwestern's, not a very good team. I think Wisconsin's going to come out on top. Can't wait for a great game.
Really quickly, did you miss class for this? This is the biggest question.
Say it one more time, sorry.
Did you miss class to be here today?
Oh, no, of course not. I would never miss class. Very studious, school first, but very supportive of the Badgers. Very, very supportive.
That's what we like to hear. Josh, I'm going to send it back to you. I'm going to talk to more fans throughout the evening and see how they're supporting the Badgers. And, of course, we have our sports director out in Indianapolis right now getting that sound, for the Big Ten tournament. So, Josh, I'm going to send it back to you, and I'm going to sit and talk with them some more.
All right, Tanisha Shaw live downtown for us. Tanisha, thank you. Well, beautiful day out there. First Floor meteorologist Blaze Keller has your certified most accurate forecast. This is patio weather. You can see them out on the patio there, Blaze.
I was going to say patio weather, and I'm out on the patio. 50s, mostly clear conditions, some upper air, thin clouds, but we are getting ready for that next round of severe weather, probably our first severe weather of the season. We find now the enhanced risk really close to parts of southwestern Wisconsin. Strong winds, straight line winds up to 60 miles per hour or more are going to be our main threats, but we cannot rule out an isolated weak tornado. We find the slight risk pretty much where it was at, slightly more now, the News 3 Now coverage area underneath that slight risk, which is the yellow, and then the brown, the enhanced risk, is just edging up to southwestern Wisconsin. Here's a look at our high wind probability, and this is going to be our greatest threat. You may be asking yourself, what are those black lines? That's what we call a hatched risk, and what that essentially means is conditions for those 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts are just that much more heightened, or there's a better chance for those strong wind gusts where we find those black lines, which cuts into parts of southwestern Wisconsin as this system moves out of Iowa into our coverage area starting later Friday night. So we're going to go more in depth about this system, really talk about what we have and what we don't have, and time this out in the full forecast. In the meantime, 50s for temperatures, 56 in Madison as well as in Viroqua, 54 in Boscobel, 53 in Prairie du Chien. We're at 56 in Middleton as well. So it's a beautiful afternoon, and it's going to be a very beautiful rest of your day, and for the most part Friday as well. As I mentioned, we're going to time out our first probable chance for severe weather in the full forecast.
All right, Blaze, we'll see you later in the broadcast. Thank you. Happening now, the Trump administration is talking trade today as new U.S. tariffs are triggering retaliatory measures from key allies. It comes as the White House is also taking aim at a series of environmental regulations. Natalie Brand reports.
Secretary of State Marco Rubio is in Canada facing G7 partners amid an escalating trade war among allies.
Mr. Secretary, what's your message to Canada?
Writing on Truth Social Thursday, President Trump slammed the EU for a 50% tariff on whiskey, saying if it's not removed, the U.S. will put a 200% tariff on all wines and other alcohols from Europe.
We want to protect the American worker, that a lot of these trade deals haven't been fair.
The Trump administration is also taking aim at environmental regulations beefed up under the Biden administration. The EPA announced plans to roll back rules on pollution, electric vehicles, and air quality, said the agency would reconsider the 2009 scientific finding that greenhouse gases are a danger to the public. The administration says the moves are aimed at cutting costs, but they're expected to face legal challenges.
They are taking us back to the 1960s, from before the times when we had regulations that actually cleaned up our water, protect people from across our country from cancer-causing agents in our air.
Today is the deadline for the EPA and other federal agencies to submit plans for mass layoffs as part of the ongoing efforts to downsize the federal government. Over on Capitol Hill, lawmakers are staring down a Friday deadline to avert a partial government shutdown.
Democrats need to decide if they're going to support funding legislation that came over from the House or if they're going to shut down the government. So far, it's looking like they plan to shut it down.
Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer says there aren't the votes to advance the House-passed funding bill, proposing a smaller and shorter stopgap measure instead to give lawmakers more time to negotiate. Natalie Brand, CBS News, the White House.
The U.S. Department of Agriculture is cutting 2 federal programs that provided funding to schools and food banks to buy directly from local farmers. The agency says the decision is aimed at returning to long-term fiscally responsible initiatives. The School Nutrition Association says the change will affect schools across the U.S. at a time when they're already facing high food costs. Still ahead for us on a Thursday afternoon, Spirit Airlines gives an update on financial struggles, plus what the new Consumer Price Index report is showing compared to the same time last year.
The latest Consumer Price Index report shows prices jumped 2.8% in February compared to the same time last year. That's slightly less than economists had forecast. The report showed grocery prices continue to rise, especially the cost of eggs, while gas prices have fallen. Economists warn President Donald Trump's trade tariffs could potentially push prices back up. And Spirit Airlines announced it has exited Chapter 11 bankruptcy. The company says it has shed a lot of the debt and has received more than $350 million in equity investment, some aimed at enhancing the guest experience. The budget carrier filed for bankruptcy late last year after a failed attempt to merge with JetBlue. That's your CBS News Money Watch report. For more, log on to cbsmoneywatch.com. At the CBS Broadcast Center, I'm Jesse Mitchell.
Here's your stock report at the noon hour today. The Dow is down 466 points, NASDAQ down 317, and the S&P 500 down 68. We have today's farm numbers ahead, plus Blaze is tracking the first warn forecast, then later on Live at 4. Angie Horkin shows us a unique, cost-effective take on the classic St. Patrick's Day corned beef. Pam Bianchi is out of the radio barn for a meeting this afternoon, so here are your farm numbers. Well, it's the calm before the possible severe weather on the way. Meteorologist Blaze Keller has the 3 things to know in the first warn forecast. Hi, Blaze.
That's right. We are tracking our first chance for severe weather of the season, mainly for southwestern Wisconsin, but a lot of southern Wisconsin is going to be underneath the threat for these strong winds, upwards of 60 miles per hour, likely going to be more straight line winds. But we can't rule out an isolated weak tornado as we go Friday night into early Saturday. We've updated our kind of threat risk assessment for your Friday night. Winds are certainly going to be our greatest threat. Again, some of those gusts could be upwards, if not surpassing or over 60 miles per hour. And we are going to watch the chance for some small hail as well as a weak tornado coming out of Iowa. Let me make sure that I've got the right severe weather outlook here. This is the correct outlook for your day 2. So this is our marginal, our slight, as well as our enhanced risk. And yesterday, we didn't see that enhanced risk this far north. So that's the growing confidence that we'll likely see some of these more stronger storms moving out of parts of Iowa, northern Illinois, weakening as they move into parts of southern Wisconsin. We also find, again, that slight risk now further north and eastward. This is an overall look of our setup here. We've got that low pressure system off to our south and west, the cold front extending all the way further south. This red area south of Dubuque encompassing a lot of Illinois as well as Missouri just north of Memphis. This is what we call a moderate risk for severe weather. So this is when we start to get those long-lasting, very strong severe thunderstorms. Thankfully, that's not in our area, but we're getting close to that enhanced risk, which we start to see maybe this shift from isolated to more widespread. So let's take it in closer to home and really time this out on your Friday evening. Showers and thunderstorms will have developed in parts of Iowa as well as Minnesota, and they will continue to push off towards the north and east from the late afternoon through the 10-11 midnight time frame going into Saturday. It doesn't look like there's a lot of yellows, reds here, but we are anticipating that line of potentially severe thunderstorms to move out of Iowa into parts of northern Illinois as well as central parts of our forecast area as we go into the midnight hour, pushing into parts of Lake Michigan by 2, 3, 4 o'clock in your Saturday morning. And then we deal with some leftover rain showers as we go into the rest of your Saturday. Here's that line of strong winds moving on in as we go into your Friday, 11 o'clock at night. They will continue to push off towards the northeast, but then we're going to be dealing with, once again, windy conditions into your Saturday. So we've issued an alert day for Saturday as well, just for those strong winds. We're not anticipating severe weather, just strong winds on your Saturday. So as I mentioned, those wind gusts upwards of 60 miles per hour, if not more, will be possible across southwestern and south central parts of Wisconsin as we go into your Friday night. and we're still going to keep an eye out for an isolated weak tornado possibility as well. So stay with News 3 now. We will keep you updated throughout the day on Friday, and then stay with us for that severe weather coverage if we do see it on your Friday night. You can also download our First Warn weather app to get alerts sent directly to your phone as well. In the meantime, 60s, low to mid 60s today, 70s on Friday, 50s on Saturday, quieting down for your Sunday and staying quiet for your St. Patrick's Day.
All right, very spring-like forecast, Blaze.
Yes.
Thank you. Let's see what Howard's working on in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen.
If you're looking for ways to get dinner on the table fast, I mean really fast, nothing beats pan frying. What I like about pan frying is that it helps seal in the juices while allowing the outside of whatever you're cooking to get nice and crispy. To show you what I mean, we've got a tasty new dish for you to try tonight. We begin by cutting a pork tenderloin into chunks and then flattening them between a couple of pieces of wax paper or a plastic storage bag. Pounding these nice and thin will not only allow them to cook super fast, but it also creates more of a surface area, which is where all the flavor will be. Now we coat our cutlets with some Italian breadcrumbs that we mix with some Parmesan cheese and a bit of salt and pepper. After we cook down some onions and garlic in olive oil, we saute our cutlets in the same pan. The cutlets are going to absorb all that flavor from the onions and garlic while they cook. In less than 5 minutes, when the breading is golden and the pork is cooked through, it's ready to serve. And although this is crazy quick, don't think for a minute that it's going to lack flavor. No siree. It's just the opposite. These are amazing. To get the recipe for what we call our skillet Parmesan pork, all you have to do is visit our website. You know, this is really tasty. I'm Howard with Kelly in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen, where today we found a one-pan way for you to say, ooh, it's so good.
Up next, we'll introduce you to our Pet of the Week from the Dane County Humane Society. Well, it is time for Potentially Yours here on a Thursday afternoon. Amy Good from the Dane County Humane Society is here with our special guest. Hi, Amy.
Hi there.
Who is this?
So this is Moose.
Moose.
He's tall like a moose.
Yes.
He is, and he's kind of bulldozing us over like a moose.
I feel like it's a good name for him.
It is well-fitting. He is a 9-month-old boy who just came to us from Texas. He was listed as a Labradoodle.
Okay.
I'm not sure if that's accurate.
I don't think,
but
I don't know dog breeds very well, other than my own. But I don't get that. But he's still lovable nonetheless.
Right.
He doesn't shed, which I think that's like a Labradoodle thing.
Right.
We're not getting shedded on.
That's a plus for me.
Yes.
There you go.
Yes.
Absolutely.
And I mean, obviously, still in the puppy phase.
Right. So a 9-month-old puppy, he has been started, though he does know some things.
Yeah.
Like he wants another treat, so he's sitting. But if we go down. Yes, what a good boy. So somebody's really spent a lot of time already getting him well started as a puppy. So, you know,
Shake.
He must know
Oh,
Shake
look at
too.
that.
Look
Look at
that. What a good boy.
So, you know, obviously there's some training there, but then you can still craft to your own home, right?
Right, absolutely.
Come back.
At 9 months old, there's still some learning to do. He's still a puppy, but what a great start already that you have here.
And a big dog, his next home, he's going to have a lot of energy to burn, so a lot of walks. But does he enjoy walks? Hey, buddy.
Yes, he does. We took a little bit of a walk before we came in the studio. But, you know, he just came off a van ride yesterday, so he might have a little pent-up energy from the long ride from Texas.
But he's
so
such a lover boy.
Right.
Look at that.
Oh, yeah. He loves everybody. He's having a great time up here in Wisconsin already.
All the kisses.
Yes, good. Well, I don't think he's gonna really struggle to find a home, and he's so lovable, as we just mentioned. 9 months, you can really still train him to be the dog that maybe fits best for your house.
Right, absolutely.
All right. Well,
Yes,
Amy,
well,
thank you
for
so
bringing
much.
Moose.
We're going to find Moose a home.
There he goes.
Well, hey, Toto's Gala Silent Auction is now open. There are nearly 200 items you can bid on, including gift certificates, artwork, and pet items. If you can't make it, that's okay. You can bid online. The auction closes Friday night at 8:15. Hey, a happy update on last week's pet. Trooper was adopted. We love that. So if you're interested in attacking, I'm getting attacked by Moose right now. Moose, or checking out the other animals at Dane County Humane Society, go to giveshelter.org. A good day to take the dog outside today?
I mean, 60s, sunny. It's before the 70s arrive tomorrow, but Plenty of sunshine today, mostly to partly sunny, warm, and we've got even warmer temperatures tomorrow, but that does bring us the chance for likely our first severe weather of the season Friday night, so stay with News 3 Now. We will keep you updated. St. Patrick's Day is on Monday, so we're looking at 57, but we want to put St. Patrick's Day a little bit later this year.
We're staying lucky into Wednesday.
Yes.
Thanks for joining us.